Hello everyone, it's Natalie with Crochet by Natalie Lucille, and today we're making this really cute newsboy cap, and it's dedicated to MariJayne and Isaiah. She just had her baby last week, and so I made some little booties for him as well. If you want to see a tutorial on this, just comment below and I can make a little booty tutorial. These are super easy and super cute. So let's go ahead and get started. I am using a Lion Brand Cotton Blend worsted weight yarn, and I love this color because it has the brown and it has little like green pieces through it, or so I don't know, it's just how the colors come together. It's stunning. For a brown, it's stunning. And I'm using a larger hook than what the pattern calls for. I think they called for an F. I'm using an H. So basically Isaiah's going to wear this hat when he's about 20. My bad. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Don't forget your stitch markers because we're working about 33 rows and you're going to need every single one of them. And then you'll need a tapestry needle as well. So we're going to start with our first round. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to start out with a magic circle. And chain 1. And in this first round, inside the magic circle, you're going to work 6 single crochets. So how to do a single crochet is insert your hook, yarn over, draw up, yarn over, and then pull through both loops on your hook. So here's number 3, number 4. And remember, in this hat, counting is very important. And when you cinch up your magic circle, as you're working the hat, it may come loose. Don't worry, because at the very end, you can tuck and weave and tie, and then it'll stay pretty tight. So at the end of your round number 1, you're going to put your first stitch marker in. And as best as you can, because you're going to have about 33 of these puppies, place them in the back as best as you can. It gets a little wonky, but as your hat gets a little bit wider, because we're going to be working some increases, the stitch markers won't get in the way too much. So now we're working round 2, and you're going to work an increase all the way around. So you're going to work 2 single crochets into each stitch. So technically at the end of this round, you'll have 12 single crochets. So if I can get my hook in the stitch, we can start the round. And it just, okay, it's a little wonky. So there's your first single crochet, I think, and your second, what is going on? I will make it work. Okay, there's your second single crochet. So again, you're working 2 single crochets in each single crochet. So you'll have a total of 12 single crochets. And you're going to keep increasing each round. So just to let you know, for increases, and I'll have everything written up in the description box, you're going to have a total of 18 rounds where it's going to be increase. So you're going to increase by 1 for the next 18 rounds. So by the time you end up on your 18th round, you'll have a total of 108 crochet stitches, single crochets, I should say. So just to let you know. So we're still in round 2. So baby steps. So once you make it all the way around, and you should have a total of 12 single crochets, go ahead and put your stitch marker in, and as best as you can, kind of flip it to the back. Now for round 3, again, you're going to do 1 increase. So, and you'll have a total of 18 single crochets on this round. So you'll work 2 single crochets. You just have to kind of move the stitch marker as best as possible. I'll just go into the next one, which is where I was supposed to be anyway. So you work 2 single crochets in the first single crochet, and then you come up to the next single crochet and just work 1. So essentially in this round, it's going to be 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Your 2 is where you're increasing. So this round, it's 2 and 1 all the way around for a total of 18 stitches. So just keep working your way around. And trust me, your circle, because we're working on the crown right now, it will get bigger. And right now we have to fiddle with the round itself and the stitch markers. But as you increase it, the round gets bigger, and you're able to work with it a little bit more. Your hands can kind of not cramp so much. So again, we're working one increase on this round, I should say, for a total of 18. So make sure you're counting all the way around. Get a piece of paper, tally it, mark it, just something to where you know how many is in each one. Follow the description box, because it'll have all the numbers and everything that you need to make this. So once you come to the end, again, stitch marker. And for the next round, so we're now ready for round 4. So after you finish a row is when you do the stitch marker. So if you see I have 3 stitch markers, we just finished 3 rows. Now we're ready to begin row 4 with an increase plus 2. So here's our increase of 2 single crochets in the first single crochet. And then you do 1 into the next one and 1 into the next one. So it's going to be 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1 for a total of 24 single crochets. So this is round 4. Check out the description box, because again, you're going to have up to 18 rounds of increases. So we're just going to continue working the increase, and then at the end of the round, just put your stitch marker in, kind of flip it to the back as best as possible. And so round 5, you'll do your increase. And so if you look at the description box, you can see what your total of each round will be. And if you're looking at your stitch marker, you can kind of see what round you finished and what row you would be on, and just match it up with the description box. And if it says round 5, you need a total of 30 stitches. So it's going to be an increase and then 1, 2, 3. So it's literally 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. That would be round 5. So just keep increasing all the way around. Your round will get larger, and it'll still be flat. So it won't until when you stop increasing, then your hat will start to take the shape of a head, so to speak. It'll start turning or not laying flat. And as you're working your round right now, you'll see little corners where you're increasing. Once you start working the body of the hat and you stop increasing, those corners will go away, so to speak. It gives it its shape, and it gives it its Newsboys appearance. Newsboys hat, Peaky Blinders. Love that TV show. If you haven't watched it, a little reference there. Love Peaky Blinders. And one of these, just to give a little background as well, just kind of talk while I'm doing this. MariJayne, who this video is dedicated to, her mom, Connie, and I travel together. And so one of our favorite places is Scotland. So they have these newsboy, I'm not really sure what you would call it, flat hats. There's all kind of peaky hats. I'm not really sure, but we love them. And I thought, what a great dedication for her, because our Scottish heritage, and to be able to make this hat. It is super easy and super cute. So again, you're going to keep increasing each round. And I use a technique when I'm increasing. On the increase, where it's the 2 single crochets in each stitch, I use a little technique. I go A-B, because let's say you're up on round 18 and you have 16 single crochets plus an increase, you can go A-B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then count it that way, so you don't get mixed up in your counting. So again, I'm continuing around, and it's just increase, putting your stitch markers in. And once you get to round 18, you will have an increase plus 16 stitches or single crochets, but you'll have a total of 108 single crochets, and that is very important. Just keep following the description box, and I'll just keep working my way around and see how the stitch markers fall to the back, so they're not quite in the way. Just keep working it around. You can see how it just as you increase one, it's getting larger. You can see all the rounds that have been finished, and just keep working it around. Use your stitch markers, count, and I will just keep working this until it gets larger, and I'll be back once it gets larger. So here we are, and I am ready to work, because you can even count all my stitch markers here. I'm ready to start my round 19 through 26. You're just going to single crochet in each stitch around. So right now, when you work round 19, you single crochet, and don't increase, don't decrease, just single crochet all the way around, and you'll have a total of 108 single crochets. Keep using your stitch markers, and once you reach round 26, you'll be ready for, of course, round 27, and we're going to start a decrease. So in this round, you are going to be working 16 single crochets, and then you work a decrease. And let me show you how you will do that. So you're just going to work your 16 single crochets. And I also, between round 19 through 26, I color coordinated so I knew where I was, so I wouldn't have to constantly count my stitch markers. So I used red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. So I knew that was round 19 through 26. Just a kind of tidbit. So we're just doing one single crochet into the next 16 single crochets. So just keep working it around. Counting, again, is very important. Just keep working it. Almost ready to work our decrease. Okay, now in this is where you're going to work your decrease. So you insert your hook, yarn over, pull up, and then you're going to go into the next single crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up, so you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. That is a decrease. So in this round, you're going to work 16 single crochets and then a decrease. So again, you're just going to keep working it around. Check out the description box to show what you're doing for each round, because round 27 was 16 single crochets and 1 decrease, and so you end up with 102 single crochets. Now in the round 28, you're going to single crochet all the way around, no decreases. So check out the description box, because once you're ready for the brim, it kind of changes everything up just a little bit. So you'll work your round 29, 30, 31, 32, and then on round 33, you are just going to be working 30 single crochets, and that's when you would cut your yarn to work on your brim. Now, going back, round 29, you work 15 single crochets, 1 decrease, which you'll end up with 96 single crochets. Round 30, you'll work 96 single crochets, do not decrease. Round 31, 14 single crochets, and then you decrease, and you'll end up with 90 single crochets. And then you will single crochet round 32, you'll single crochet just 90 around. So no decrease. So once you start working that, it'll start taking shape of your hat. So here is your decrease for the next round. So you just insert, yarn over, pull up, insert, yarn over, pull up. So you have your 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And just keep working it around. So you can see where the hat is starting to take its shape. And then again, you will work your decrease and then single crochet around, and then your decrease and then single crochet around. So every round it starts getting a tiny bit, I guess, more snug, if that's the word I'm looking for. Again, stitch markers and counting is so important. So when you are working your decrease, you won't be able to, it's almost like an invisible decrease. So you'll work your single crochets first, and then you'll work your decrease. So just keep working it around. And then here's where you'll do your decrease in the next 2 stitches. So insert, yarn over, pull up, go to your next stitch, insert, yarn over, pull up, and then just yarn over and pull through all 3. Again, just keep working it around and follow the description box, and you should be fine. So we'll just keep working our way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and this is the brim, 20, so we're going to work a total of 30, so 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. And this is where you cut your yarn, because now we're working on the brim. And when you finish your rows of the brim, that's when you sew it to the hat. I did not do a video of that, but I think it's kind of self-explanatory. But you just finish that one off. Now we're going to continue with the brim. And this is, well, it's because it's not a round, it's a row. On this one, it is row 34. So right before your stitch marker, insert your hook and attach your yarn and chain 1, and just kind of move your tail out of the way. When you're done with your hat, you'll be stitching in everything, so it all will come together. And then you're going to try your best to single crochet around that stitch marker, the first one. Hopefully yours, doesn't give you issues like mine sometimes does, but it's life. So insert to where that stitch marker is and work a single crochet. And you're just going to work single crochet all the way across until you get to the end, and then I can show you what you will do with that. So go all the way across to your stitch marker, and once you come, well, it's not stitch marker, it's where you finished off. Once you get to that point here, you're going to work into the next, like you'll come and work in, kind of move that out of the way. Hold on just a second once it's out of the way. And then you'll come to the stitch into like the stitch that you finished off, and then after that one I can't speak right, you will single crochet into the next single crochet, and then you will cut your yarn, finish off, and then you'll start the row all over again. You'll basically repeat every time. So just cut, and then finish that row. Come back to the very beginning so you can see where you started your last row. You'll come before that. So you see where the stitch marker is. Come before it. Go ahead and attach your yarn, and then chain one. Move that tail out of the way. And you're just going to continue single crocheting across the row. So you can see where you would insert. Kind of gives the brim a smooth, say, attachment transition. So because once you sew it to the hat itself, you can't see any of these beginnings and ends. And then when you do sew your brim to your hat, you can sew it any way that you want. You don't even have to sew it if you don't want to, but it just gives it a finished look. Again, so with rows, you started out with, on round, say it was round 33, you worked your 30 single crochets and you cut your yarn. So row 34 through 41, you're going to work the same thing. You attach your yarn at the very beginning, so it's almost like right before the last stitch. So wherever you started your last stitch before, you work the one stitch before it. Work your single crochet all the way across, and then once you get to the end of the row, go to the next single crochet there, and then finish off. And that's how you're going to work your brim. So y'all, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. If you like these videos, hit the like button, subscribe, and notification bell, because I do upload regularly. I'm just going to continue working on the hat until I finish it. But I really do appreciate your support. If you do like the booties from the very beginning of the video, comment below if you would like a video tutorial of that, and I will do that. Again, if you have any questions or you need something explained or shown, please let me know, and I will make sure that I get the answer that you're needing, or if I try and figure it out, 'cause sometimes I don't know the answer. But go ahead and subscribe, and if you have any ideas for the next video, let me know. Again, I'm just going to continue on this, and I'll be finishing this up. Again, congratulations, MariJayne. Isaiah is such a sweet little baby. Until next video, y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.